It's 2100 hours in the UK, 2200 hours in Central Europe.
Weekend music radio playing all over Europe now.
Hier sind ein paar Überall zu hören. Von York bis New York, von Wiesbaden bis Vladivostok, von Madrid bis Moskau. Hier ist Weekend Music Radio aus Schottland. Radio, let's go!
Broadcasting to the universe.
Weekend Music Radio. WFR, free radio for the 80s.
We like what you like. You like you.
The ex-friendly radio stations are not dead. Weekend music radio, Scotland.
Very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Weekend Music Radio, signing on. This is Weekend Music Radio, Scottish Free Radio since 1980, on the Shortwave bands. Our frequencies for this weekend will be 6325 for primary service, 61163975 via the facilities of Shortwave Gold in Germany. So a big thank you to each and every one of our engineering staff out there who make it all possible every weekend. So we really do appreciate the hard work that goes into keeping the stations on the air, the transmitters and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Well, that's kind of week we get out here this week. May 24th, 4th and 5th. 2025, and it really is still here in Scotland as we record the programme. A very beautiful, sunny, clear blue sky, and it's just about to break. The weather's coming in on Friday night, Friday the 25th, from Friday night, and into Saturday. Probably we're going to get a hell of a rain, but we can't say it's not needed, but what's it this up again? That's the problem. That is the problem. Now, what we got in store for you today here on WMR, well, let's see, we've got some recording following on from last week's recording of Capsule Radio International. Our DX executive, or HX executive, Gary, has found a recording of Radio Caroline Dublin. Have I? So I thought I'd play you that today. We would always like to believe that Peter Gibney was always behind Radio Caroline Dublin. And certainly Aidan was a good friend of his from KELO days. But Matt Boland appeared on a station called Radio Caroline Dublin on 1386 one Sunday afternoon in the early part of 1980. So we'll be playing that little clip as well. We were having a listen to that, and yeah, it sounds pretty it'll fit in nicely with the clip that we're playing you today. We've sort of omitted stations from across the water for the last few weeks because we've been busy playing just different stuff and shortwave stuff and, well, all sorts of stuff really. We try and dig out different stuff from the archives that we don't really hear online. And certainly the stuff we've dug out today because these clips we're playing you today have never been online. In fact, I just copied my recording of Radio Kanal in Dublin from an old Monkey Phillips C90 and I had to adjust the heads quite well off to get the best quality because it was recorded on a little daft ITT tape recorder with the heads were obviously well off center and it's not too hard as long as you know how to do it, it's not hard, but if you're not a young laddie and don't know what you're doing, it's much more difficult to align the heads on a tape machine. But what you do, really, what you're better doing is getting known cassettes. For example, a pre-recorded factory cassette, a pre-recorded tape of some greatest hits or other, punchy music if you can, and align it that way. And that's what we've always done. We did use the guitar sticks right enough with these tones on it. And I used to record my own tones as well. With an aligned here, record my own test tones and use that as alignment because a nice tone is also good for aligning tape heads. But what you're up against is the tape not making it to the end of the tape. They found the options that's the far off of these days because these cassettes are 40, 50 years old, etc. So they're not doing as good as they could. Let's just say that. Definitely not doing as good as they could. Some of them are perfect. Something else I found in the archives today was an interesting recording of somebody who used to come on a Sunday afternoon, as well as during the night, on Radio Dublin. Back in the days when Radio Dublin was well heard on the shortwave and medium wave. And it's a guy called Leo Malone, and he used to have these crazy jingles at the start of his show. So I found one. Dave Anderson and myself were chatting about this guy the other day. And I could have sworn I've got one that says something about jumping into the driver's seat of Radio Dublin 253, but it doesn't actually say that. It's sort of similar, but I have a feeling I've got another one somewhere. But anyway, we'll make do with what we've found, and that'll be coming your way later in today's programme. There's also a re-recording of All Music Radio coming up, which I found on the same cassette as the Radio Kanal Dublin from early April 1980. And that was by the facilities of Radio Andorra back in the day when World Music Radio had, you had Lee Alvin, you had Oscar Hampton, you had Paul Dave, etc. So the sound of the station was there back. I mean, we're going way back, right enough. We certainly are. Anyhow, let's get on with the show here on WMR today. And as always, we usually start the ball rolling with our waterfall art. So if you're looking at us on some sort of a waterfall, whether it be on a main receiver, because you can't do that, we've been told. Somebody sent us a nice photograph to prove it just a few weeks ago. Or if you're listening on an SDR, either at home or online, just widen the waterfall just a little bit and stretch it out a wee bit, and you might just see station ident coming up, WMR. It's only 20 seconds, but it's sort of digital mode, so you can't do much longer really without annoying normal listeners, can we? Okay, time to go!